Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host, and today we're taking a deep dive into execution, the discipline of getting things done by Larry Bossidy and Ram Charan. If you've ever worked in a business where great strategies fizzled out or goals were missed despite the best intentions, then this book will resonate deeply. It's not about lofty vision statements or inspiring leadership speeches. It's about the gritty, unglamorous, but essential process of getting things done. Let's walk through this book so you'll feel like you have read it cover to cover. Bossidy, a former CEO at Honeywell, and Charan, a renowned business advisor, begin with a harsh truth. Most organizations fail not because they lack vision, but because they fail at execution. Strategy without execution is like a rocket with no fuel. It looks impressive, but it's never getting off the ground. The authors argue that execution is a discipline. It's a set of habits, behaviors, and practices that must be built into the fabric of a company's culture, starting with the leader. The core of the book revolves around 3 key processes that must be linked together: the people process, the strategy process, and the operations process. These aren't abstract models. They're deeply interconnected gears that keep the business engine running. First comes the people process. Bossidy and Charan insist that leaders must spend more time assessing, developing, and placing talent. Too often, companies overestimate a person's ability to grow into a role, or they promote based on past performance in a totally different context. Execution demands realism. It demands knowing who's truly capable of doing what's needed, not just who has the most impressive resume. Next is the strategy process. But here's where the authors challenge conventional thinking. Strategy isn't created in a vacuum. It must be grounded in reality, informed by frontline insights, and continuously stress-tested. They highlight the importance of asking how at every step. It's not enough to say, we want to grow by 20%. How exactly? With what team? In what market? At what margin? A great strategy, they argue, is one that survives the tough questions and adjusts accordingly. The third piece is the operations process, where rubber meets road. This is where budgets, timelines, and accountability come into play. The authors emphasize frequent reviews, clear metrics, and transparency. They advocate for a dialogue-based approach, where managers and teams engage in constant, candid conversations about progress. Execution doesn't happen in quarterly reviews. It happens in the day-to-day rhythm of tracking actions, confronting obstacles, and making real-time course corrections. What sets this book apart is the emphasis on leadership behavior. Bossidy doesn't mince words. If a leader can't connect strategy to operations and people, they're not doing their job. He talks about the importance of follow-through, asking tough questions, rewarding execution-minded behavior, and making sure meetings don't just end with ideas, but with commitments and deadlines. Charan adds his decades of insight into how culture and incentives need to align with execution. A company that rewards charisma over results will falter. One that promotes honest debate and accountability will thrive. And then there's the human side. The book doesn't ignore the emotional and relational demands of execution. It acknowledges that building trust, dealing with underperformance, and making difficult personnel changes are all part of the job. Execution is not about being a tyrant. It's about creating clarity, consistency, and a shared sense of responsibility. When everyone knows the goal, understands their part in it, and believes their work is tied to results, that's when organizations begin to move as one. In the final chapters, Bossidy reflects on his own experience at Honeywell, showing how applying the execution discipline transformed both performance and morale. He doesn't paint a rosy picture. He shows the sweat, the resistance, and the gradual change that led to long-term success. Execution is not sexy, but it's powerful. So if you're a manager, a founder, a team lead, or simply someone who wants to turn plans into reality, execution is a masterclass in accountability, alignment, and action. That's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for listening to Book Summary 5, where we turn powerful books into stories that stick with you. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, happy reading.